close to 172 billion US dollars into more than 370 million bank account of the poor for various welfare measures. And we have saved close to $23 billion, which used to be pocketed by middlemen and fictitious claimants. Direct improvement of good governance and good delivery. From digital literacy to healthcare, Ayushman Bharat digitally being managed, to GST, general sale tax being digitally managed, to millions of Indians getting digitally literate in the digital literacy program, and about 10.6 million farmers using e-market to sell their farm produce, all is an indication in that direction. Technology keeps on evolving. Its pace and speed overtakes us, at times overwhelms us. But we welcome AI because it has enormous potential to generate development and also bring in further equity and delivery. Ladies and gentlemen, we are very clear about one thing. AI would become meaningful only when it brings in a palpable improvement in the quality of life of ordinary Indians. Therefore, if Digital India was for digital inclusion, we also want AI to further promote that inclusive character of development. And we are very clear that the extraordinary human resource of India, of demographic dividend, which we have been able to leverage over the years, India's IT company becoming globally competitive, we are very, very sure that our artificial intelligence ecosystem is going to promote a large pool of skilled professionals who will be there to manage India's AI ecosystem and also the world. We see in that direction. We have no problem if our friends who are managing AI, startup or corporate, create more, serve more, deliver more, and earn more. But for us, the real meaning of AI would be when it helps to bring cheers, a smile on the life of common people. And I am very proud to share with you, ladies and gentlemen, that our Prime Minister clearly told us that we must apply AI in a very substantial way to improve governance, the processes. In 2018, we came with the idea of our whole team of AI. We have set up many centers of excellence in the entire country, where new startup incubation, sectoral solutions, and intellectual properties have been created. We want to further augment this process. Yes, we are a country of only 1.3 billion plus people, yet our digital profile is also very, very impressive. India is home to only 1.21 billion mobile phone users. Our digital identity Aadhaar is now aggregating 1.26 billion. India's internet is close to 700 million. Our Prime Minister gave us a vision that not only the towns, we need to reach all the villages of India in a mission mode manner to connect fiber to all the villages in 1,000 days. And we are speedily executing it. Obviously, India's young population and the tech-savvy people are going to generate a lot of data. We have already set up a data protection law after the widest consultation possible. It is awaiting parliamentary scrutiny in a select committee. It's going to be finally passed by the parliament very soon. It is a fine amalgam of ensuring data privacy, data safety, data security, and also data innovation and data empowerment. And most important, giving a big fillip to data economy, which India is poised to offer. These are some of the initiatives we have taken for AI. I'm very sure that our theme of digital inclusion will also be reflected in artificial intelligence inclusion, an inclusive society. And I have not the slightest idea that, as the Prime Minister said, let us bridge the digital divide always. From digital India to digital AI, this bridging the divide will continue, and India's application of AI will become a beacon for the world. I have not the slightest hesitation that this fine collection of international minds in the coming 5 days is going to give us a lot of solutions where not only India will be empowered, but the world will be happy. My greetings and welcomes to all of you once again. Thank you. Jai Hind.
Thank you very much, Honorable Minister. Ladies and gentlemen, if India has been able to create a vibrant digital goods and services tax, a dynamic digital payment, unified payment interface, a unique direct benefit transfer mechanism using biometrics with no leakages, and now a visionary digital health mission launched on Independence Day by the Honorable Prime Minister, and driven radical reforms using cutting-edge technology. It's on account of the foresight, vision, and technological worldview of the Honorable Prime Minister, Shri Narendra Modi. No one understands the power of the use of technology and artificial intelligence to transform lives of Indians and of citizens across the world better than the Prime Minister of India. I would now request the Honorable Prime Minister of India, Shri Narendra Modi ji, to kindly give his inaugural address.
Distinguished guests from India and abroad, Namaste. Welcome to Raise Responsible AI for Social Empowerment Summit. This is a great effort to encourage discussion on artificial intelligence. You all have rightly highlighted aspects relating to technology and human empowerment. Technology has transformed our workplaces. It has improved connectivity. Time and again, technology has helped us solve key challenges. I'm sure this merger between social responsibility and AI will enrich AI with human touch. Friends, artificial intelligence is a tribute to human intellectual power. The power to think enabled humans to make tools and technologies. Today, these tools and technologies have also acquired the power to learn and think. In this, one key emerging technology is AI. The teamwork of AI with humans can do wonders for our planet. Friends, at every step of history, India had led the world in knowledge and learning. In today's age of IT and as well, India is making outstanding contributions. Some of the brightest tech leaders belong to India. India has also proved to be the powerhouse of the global IT services industry. We will continue to digital excel and delight the world. Friends, in India, we have experienced that Technology improves transparency and service delivery. We are home to the world's largest unique identity system, Aadhaar. We also have the world's most innovative digital payment system, UPI. This has enabled providing access to digital services, including financial services like direct cash transfer to the poor and marginalized. In the pandemic situation, we saw how India's digital readiness was of great help. We reach out to the people with help at the earliest and in the most efficient manner. India is rapidly expanding its its optical fiber network. The aim is to provide every village with high-speed internet connectivity. Friends, now we want India to become a global hub for AI. Many Indians are already working on this area. I hope many more do so in the times to come. Our approach to this is powered by core principle of teamwork, trust, collaboration, responsibility, and inclusivity. Friends, India has recently adopted the National Education Policy 2020. It focuses on technology-based learning and skilling as a major part of education. E-courses will also be developed in various regional languages and dialects. This whole effort will benefit from natural language processing capabilities AI platforms. We launch Responsible AI for Youth program this year in April. Under this program, more than 11,000 students from schools completed the basic course. They are now building their AI projects. Friends, the National Educational Technology Forum is being formed. This will create an e-education unit to boost the digital infrastructure, digital content, and capacity. Virtual labs are being established to provide hands-on experience to learners. We have also launched the Atal Innovation Mission to promote a culture of innovation and entrepreneurship. Through these steps, we aim to keep pace with emerging technologies for people's benefit. Friends, I would also like to mention about the National Program on Artificial Intelligence. This will be dedicated towards rightful use of AI for solving problems of society. It will be implemented with the support of all stakeholders. RAISE can be a platform to brainstorm in this regard. I invite all of you to actively participate in these efforts. Friends, there are a few challenges that I would like to pose to this august audience. Can we use artificial intelligence for the optimal management of our assets and resources? At some places, resources are idle, while in other places there is a shortage of resources. Can we dynamically reallocate them to find optimal use? Can we delight our citizens with proactive and prompt delivery of services at their doorsteps? Friends, the future belongs to the youth, and every youngster matters. Each child has unique talents, capabilities, and aptitudes. At times, the right person ends up at the wrong place. There is a way we can change that. How about every child observing him or herself while growing up? Can parents, teachers, and friends carefully observe children, observe them from their childhood, the start of adulthood, and keep a record of them? This will go a long way in helping a child discover his or her natural calling. Those observations can be effective guiding force for youngsters. Can we have a system which gives an analytic report on the aptitude of each child? This would open doors of opportunity for many youngsters. Such human resource mapping will have long lasting benefits in governments and businesses. Friends, I see a big role for AI in empowering agriculture, healthcare, education, creating next generation urban infrastructure, and addressing urban issues like reducing traffic jams, improving sewage systems, and laying our energy grids. It can be used for making our disaster management system stronger. It can even be used to solve the problem of climate change. Friends, our planet is blessed with several languages. In India, we have several languages and dialects. Such diversity makes us a better society. As Professor Raj Reddy just suggested, why not use AI to seamlessly bridge language barriers? Let us think about simple and effective ways of how AI can empower Divyang sisters and brothers. Friends, why not use AI for knowledge sharing? There are few things as empowering as making knowledge, information, and skills easily accessible. Friends, it remains our collective responsibility to ensure trust in how AI is used. Algorithm transparency is key to establishing this trust. Equally important is accountability. We must protect the world against weaponization of AI by non-state actors. Friends, while we discuss AI, let also have no doubts that human creativity and human emotions continue to be our greatest strength. They are our unique advantage over machines. Even the smartest of AI cannot solve mankind's problems without blending with our intellect and empathy. We should also think of how we will retain this intellectual edge over machines. We should ensure that we take care so that human intelligence is always a few steps ahead of AI. We should think about how AI can help humans to increase their own capacities. I want to state again, AI will unlock the unique potential of each person. It will empower them to contribute more effectively to society. Friends, here at RAISE 2020, we have created a global forum for the world's leading stakeholders. Let us exchange ideas and chart a common course for the adoption of artificial intelligence. It is critical that all of us work together as partners for this. I thank you for coming together to participate in this truly global event. I wish the Global Summit all success. I'm sure that the discussions over the next 4 days will help create an action roadmap for responsible AI, a roadmap that can truly help transform lives and livelihoods across the world. My best wishes to you all. Thank you. Thank you very much.